So for my digital documentary, the big question that I chose to do was, why is self-love and respect important? And so on this first slide, I just have a couple of bullets that define what self-love really is. And the one that's really important to me is practicing positive psychology. And by doing this, you have a less likely chance to develop a mental disorder such as depression and anxiety. And I know those are super common. Sad as it to say, it's super common in our society. So being able to just stay positive within your mindset leads to a more happier, fulfilled life and just overall satisfaction in everything that you do. And also, another thing of self-love is to appreciate your own body and your mind, because your body and your mind truly do so much for you, and acknowledging the need that you have to care for yourself is really important. And so I just wrote 5 ways to practice self-love, and one that I think is really important to me is the last one, is to make space for self-reflection, because when showing yourself a lot of self-love, it can tend to hide away from some things that do need to be talked about and do still need to be changed, because obviously we are not all perfect. So showing self-love to yourself, but also giving yourself time to reflect on what you're doing with your life and what areas need to be less or what areas need to be more, is really good. Next, I just wrote some more bullets about self-respect this time. And for me, this kind of comes to self-respect is important is because you just get better opportunities when you are more confident and you know yourself and you know your worth, that you don't let people use you and take advantage of you in all kinds of relationships, your friendships or romantically, because you know what you bring to the table, and you should know what you bring to the table so that people appreciate you for that and don't take advantage of you for it. And then there's this quote that I saw that says, respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. And I think that just ties in everything with self-respect and self-love, because one, you're walking away from something that is not good for you, which is a self-love, but then you're also knowing that that's not good for you because of how worthy you are, which is self-respect. These are just a few benefits to both of them, and especially academic achievements is a really big one, because you're confident in your work, you put yourself first and your work first, which makes your academic levels just rise. And better recovery in many aspects of health. This is more of if you had just gone through a big surgery or whatnot, or a big medical procedure. People tend to get sad because they're in recovery and they're just at home and they're not doing things that are making them happy because they're in recovery. So having just the positive mind and still love for yourself, and be grateful that you were able to have such medical procedures or be able to recover from them. And then oftentimes people take self-love as narcissism, but they are definitely completely different. I feel like narcissism is more aggressive, and it's more of a selfish tendency, which self-love can be selfish as well, but it's a healthy kind. Narcissism is like the toxic kind, I would say. So I just wrote a little check mark as to which is narcissism and which is self-love. And a big thing about narcissism is living in a fantasy world that supports the person's delusions, thinking that whatever they think is always right and they should never have to change because they're so perfect and amazing. But obviously that is not true. There's room for improvement for everyone. Here are just some simple statistics, not really anything new to anyone. It's just that people who have self-respect for themselves and truly love themselves just perform better in these aspects of life and almost every aspect of life. There really isn't a downfall to caring for yourself more or learning your worth. Like, if anything, like, there's nothing wrong with that because your body does so much for you that you should appreciate it. And so those are just some numbers there. And then lastly, I just have this slide that says, I love you, we love you, and I hope you love yourself. And practicing self-love and respect is really important, and I hope everyone chooses themselves, but in the most healthy and in the most kind way possible, because you are so important and your body does so much for you and your mind does so much for you. So yeah.